Welcome everyone to this amazing session and life lesson on how you can actually defend yourself against cyber attack. All right, so the cybersecurity space is like a football match where we have attackers, we have defenders. Right now, today is Monday, 22nd of June, 2026, and the World Cup is taking place right now in America. And you would always see like while the attackers are coming, and then the midfielders are releasing the ball to the attackers to go and try to want to score a goal. The defender remains there and is trying to ensure that the goal does not come in, and then they challenge the attackers in order to ensure that don't go in. So today we'll be looking at the concept of Windows Defender Firewall. And we'll be looking at how you can detect, monitor, and control network traffic. How can you detect, monitor, and control network traffic? So the cyberspace is like a football match where while somebody is trying to score the goal and then get it into the net, and then the keeper is watching, the defenders are there trying to watch. The same way your computer system has something called a firewall. So we'll be looking at things around that today. But before we go on, let's take the analogy of the football match. The attacker in this scenario is the hacker. The attacker is the one who wants to send in those malwares, want to ensure that you install those malware, want to ensure that you become vulnerable, want to send some phishing attack, want to begin to send in some Trojan horses, and wants to ensure that you begin to lose guard. The defender is your firewall rule. So you have something called a firewall, which means while they are trying to send the attack, the firewall is standing there gidigba. He's saying, no way you can go anywhere. You cannot move anywhere. The goalkeeper is the Windows firewall. The stadium gate is the network port. That's, there are things called ports, whereby people, when they're watching, they look for that port and they want to just access and send the attack through that port. The football is a data packet. That's the packet that sends the signals of data and information and all the things you're trying to move. And the coach is the system administrator. You have all of this on your computer system. And the spectator is the legitimate user, which is you who is making use of this. And my name is Dr. Abiodun Mustapha. I will be sharing with you on this concept as we move on in our sessions on cyber security on this course called technopreneurship. So these are the things that are very essential. The cyber activities are just like this football match, and these are all the people involved. So are we going to be learning today? I'll be explaining what a firewall is and why it's important. We'll differentiate the inbound and outbound traffic. We'll look at how you can configure your Windows Defender firewall. We'll view and create firewall rules, monitor network activities in real time, detect suspicious connections, to apply firewall protection best practices, and you complete your individual and maybe group assignments. What's a firewall? We've been saying firewall, and some of you have been hearing firewall. What's a firewall? A firewall is a security system that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. So it looks at predetermined security rules and it begins to control what comes in, what goes out, and then it's trying to ensure that there's some sort of monitoring, there's some sort of control, and then it does not allow attacks get to you or get into your computer system. So it monitors. What it does is it watches every packet entering and leaving your system 24/7, all the time. As long as your computer system is on, it monitors, controls, it allows trusted traffic through while applying security rules. So when it checks the packet trying to come in, the data that is trying to come in, if it checks and it sees that, this trusted, this good, it allows it. If it sees that it's suspicious, it blocks it instantly. You would have noticed sometimes maybe you're trying to install a particular application and they just tell you, we can't allow it. It's trying to say this is suspicious. Because it's suspicious, we can't allow it. They are going to block it. And sometimes they'll tell you to go and turn off your Defender, turn off your firewall so that you will be permitted to install it. So it stops suspicious, unauthorized, and malicious connections. What are inbounds and outbound traffic? Inbound traffic is the data coming into your computer system. What's the data coming into your computer system? Maybe, for example, a remote desktop request, incoming file transfer, they're trying to transfer something in, shared file access, the ping or network scan, all those things are inbound traffic. And attackers move towards your goals. Attackers will always move towards your goals. So when they watch and check, they're trying to see, oh, what's coming in, what's going in. So they try to go through your inbound traffic. Your outbound traffic is your data, the data leaving your computer. So for example, when you're sending emails, when you're trying to visit a website, that's like an outbound. When you are uploading a file, you are trying to update your app, the software on your computer system. Those are outbound traffic, and your team will launch attacks. Your team is launching an attack. That's an outbound traffic. Now, there are three firewall profiles. We have the domain profile, we have the private profile, and we have the public profile. We have the domain profile, the private profile, and the public profile. What's the domain profile? The domain profile is used in organizations and corporate environments connected to Active Directory's strict centrally managed policies. So they have strict centrally managed policies. Why? Because maybe, for example, your university or maybe an organization you're working with, they have a particular firewall profile that is built in order to protect everything that comes or operates within the organization. They are managed by the IT department. There's usually an Active Directory, and it's usually corporate. Most times it has low risks. A private profile, they are used at homes or on trusted networks, balanced security settings, allowing moderate sharing and connectivity. So they are usually used at homes, trusted networks, and also file sharing activities happening. So you know when a particular ISP installs a particular network for your home and then it operates in your home, that's what is called a private profile, and they have moderate risks. The one that has the highest risks, so much of risks, are the public profile. Okay, they are usually there in coffee shop, airports, public Wi-Fi hotspot, most restrictive settings. You assume everyone is a threat. You must always assume everyone is a threat. You would always see them. You know, that's why you're usually told when you go on public places or you connect to public networks, make sure you do not carry out things like personal transactions. Don't just download any application that is suggested. Why? Because you may be exposed to very high risks. Now, the understanding of network ports, there are things called ports. Remember what we said about ports? That's the gate. The gate that the attacker tries to always want to use. So you'd always think of port as different gates into a football stadium. So there are things called ports. For example, your organization, your university would have a port. They are usually ports where people are always trying to ping and check through that port. Is this port available? They want to access to that port so that they could try to attack you. Okay, so take broadcasts, you will see. When you see port 80, it's the HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's usually used for web browsing and it's unencrypted. The port 443 is a secure web. It's usually encrypted. That's why you are usually advised that when you see a site that has HTTP, you should be careful. But when it has the HTTP secure, then there's some sort of security put there. The encryption means that for every information, for every time you impute maybe your username or your password, there is some sort of encryption. It hashes your different inputs, make it ununderstandable, and then at the end of the day, you are able to have it stored in a form whereby the people cannot understand. So what happens is that you're secure. So people cannot just access your information straight up. We have the port 25. It's the protocol, the port used for sending emails. So whether Gmail, Yahoo Mail, they make use of the SMTP. Then we have the file transfer protocol. The port 21 is used for file transfer. So when you want to transfer documents, you want to transfer files, you want to transfer certain things, this is the port that is used. We have the remote desktop protocol. That's the port 3389. They are remote desktop that are commonly used by attackers. So the common attack target is this port 3389, and then we have the secure remote terminal. That's the port 22, which is also a network port that is being used. Okay, now let's quickly check out an exercise. Let's take a practical exercise. How do you open your Windows Defender firewall? What do? You open your start menu, you search, you can type Windows Defender, and then you open the application, you observe the dashboard, okay, and then you would see the things you will see. You see your private network status, public network status, you see your firewall, whether it's on or off, you'll see incoming connection status, and then you will see your notification settings. So let's do that. Quickly. Let me show you. A number of you have this things on your computer, but you don't check the status of your firewall and whether it's there or not. So when if you type just your Windows menu, just type in there Windows Defender, and then it will bring out these for you. So I'll show you what it comes like. Okay, so let me remove this. We'll be back to it. Just hold on a sec. We'll be bringing it to you. Okay, so when you open that, you're going to see your Windows Defender firewall. So it's something like this. So you would see the status, private network. It's saying, oh, private network is not connected. We have guest or public network. These are all the networks available. Active public networks available. These are all the active public networks available. All right. And it's also showing whether it's secure or not. And then you'll be able to see a whole lot of other things. So when you come in here, you will see whether you want to turn on your Windows Defender. So you see Windows Defender, turn on Windows Defender. So it's turned on, turn off Windows Defender. So if this is turned off, it means that you will be open to attack. Anything that just comes in through any of those ports comes instantly. So this is the public network, whether the firewall is on, the private network, whether the firewall is on, and whether the firewall is on for your public network. So it's usually advised that you turn it on so that you will be safe, and then you will be kept secure from all of those different attacks and all. So that's how this works. So let's go back to. So that's the first exercise you have to do. Now let's move on. I think I'll take all the practicals, then we'll come back to it. Just hold on. I want to show you something on the slide, so we just come back there. So that's the first exercise you have to do. Go and open your Windows. Open your Windows Defender and see the status, see how it looks and what it looks like. So I'm going to remove this, and I will share something new. So you go back to the slide. All right, so I've shown you how to open your Windows Defender and what it is like. We've seen what it is like also. So let's move on. All right, so we are back here. Okay, we're back here. So just hold on a sec. I needed you to really see this. So I need you to really see this. So you would see that the Windows Defender has a whole lot of those options, and then it would show you how to trace your inbound and outbound status, and then how you can begin to monitor a lot of the things that are present there. Okay, so share my screen. All right. Are we good? Let's just hold on a sec. Hold on. All right, so we'll just move on. I wanted you to run, a particular practical. So I will take you back to our Windows Defender, so that when you go through the Windows Defender, you would be able to understand where we are coming at. So how do you check your inbound and outbound status? So what you simply do is you will go to advanced settings. You go to advanced settings. So when you go to your advanced settings, let me make this. So when you go to advanced settings, it's going to bring you this. All right. It's going to bring you this. So when you click on advanced setting, what you're going to see is this. Okay, hold on a sec. So you're going to see this. Now, this is going to show you your inbound and outbound settings. So you'll see inbound rules. So when you come to your inbound rules, it shows you the status, it shows you where there's security, where there's no security. So you have security for all of this Apache, Blue Jeans, all of that. Now this one is public, so it's telling you that this is likely going to be a threat, and you would realize that it has blocked. They actually took this, that it blocked it because it appeared like a threat, and that's what your Windows Defender. So this print drive host, what did it do? It blocked them immediately, so it's not going to allow them. So that's what your firewall does. So when you install an application and it looks like a malware, it's going to block it immediately. It's going to block them. So that's the work of your firewall. Your firewall is to protect your system, protect your devices from contacting or from getting corrupted or affected. So, inbound, anything coming in, how does it protect? So for the outbound, let's see. So the outbound, everything there is secure. Everything going out is safe and secure. So that's the work of your security. So you'd see firewall state, Windows December firewall on, inbound connection that do not match your rule are blocked, you see. So outbound connection that do not match your rule are allowed. So you see, that's the work. So this is your firewall, the work that your firewall is doing. So you're able to see your inbound, you're able to see your outbound, you're able to see all of the things that it does. So these are very, 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 very amazing and very, very great stuff that you can really, 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 really make do with. So it's very, very, very amazing to see how well these things work. Okay, you're able to see how well these things work. Very, very, very amazing. So what you have to do right now is that you have to go check and begin to look out for a whole lot of these things. So you look out for them, check up your own laptop. So that's the assignment you're going to do. You're going to check each of these things on your computer system. And while you look at these things on your computer system, you are going to share as a comment in the Google Classroom, just as a comment under this video post. Tell us what your views are, what you discovered, and what you have learned by the things that are shared here right now. So what have you learned? What have you seen from the things that are shared here right now? Okay, so let me go back to the slide. Okay, so these are very, 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 very important and very, very pivotal things to look out for. Sorry, I have to go back to my slide. Okay, so we already looked out for the first practical one. Practical 2 is viewing inbound and outbound rules, which is what I just showed you. The third thing is block a suspicious application. So you can create a new rule. When you create a new rule, you can type the rule, select the program, click next. You can browse and check it up. The actions will be to block and then to begin to look. and then the firewall is already doing that for you, which is a very, very amazing thing to take note. Now, monitoring network activities, we just did that right now. You will see the rules being done, how it's monitored, what it did, and then how it's able to be on the lookout for that. Now, for example, a case study is a student who tried to be very curious, and then he went to some of these free sites, he downloaded a free software, and then inside the software, without knowing there's a kind of Trojan horse inside of it, and then he unknowingly installed that Trojan horse. So the history of Trojan horse was there was a particular empire where they were trying to fight, and then they now built a very great edifice, a very great figure like an horse that was built with, I think, wooden items or metal items, and inside of it, they hid their armies. They hid their armies inside. Why? Because they were carrying out some sort of activities and they could not know that those people were there. So those people get entry into their country and they started killing their people. They started gaining access to their resources. So that's what a Trojan horse is. It tries to penetrate through into your system unknowingly. And then the next thing that happened is a data exfiltration begins. So the malware silently connects to remote servers outside your country and begins sending your personal data. And the next thing that happens is there's an unusual traffic that is being detected. You just notice that your resource monitoring begins to happen, your IT professional data begins to go out, and then certain things happen. And straight up, there's an attack that is prevented because there's a firewall. So that's how these things work. Now, how do you recognize suspicious activities? Number one, there's unexpected connection. Maybe an unknown remote IP address appears in your resource monitoring. That's already telling you that there's an high threat that's being detected. An unknown application traffic taking place, it becomes critical. So a process you didn't recognize is generating traffic all the time. Maybe also there's high network usage in terms of ideal. You will see reported port scanning activities. You keep scanning, and then outbound traffic to foreign IP. There will be some sort of maybe there's a disabling of your firewall. So you begin to pay attention to them and deal with them instantly. Firewall protection checklist. How do you want to know that your firewall is on? How do you protect yourself from cyber attacks? Number one, you keep your firewall on. Number two, use public profile wisely. That's connecting to Wi-Fi in public places. Use it wisely. Allow yourself to not use like personal information through those Wi-Fi. The next thing is you review your rules periodically. You know all those inbound rules. Check them again. Review them again. Remove unused applications that you are not using. Make sure you clean them up. There are times on your smartphone they'll tell you, oh, this app have not been used for a very long time. Can you uninstall, or do you want to wake it up? You monitor your connections all the time. So don't just do it once in a while, do it all the time, because you'll see some app that have been there and then it's being blocked. Just delete them. And then the next thing is make sure you update your Windows regularly. Update your Windows regularly. Make sure that your Windows seem to be updated. Your operating system has these upgrade features that makes it that makes your computer system secure whenever you get them done. Now, what's the assignment? The assignment is this. You carry out a Windows firewall investigation. So you are going to open Windows Defender Firewall. You would identify your current profile and status. You will list 5 active inbound rules. You will list 5 active outbound rules. And then you would open your resource monitor and record 5 active network processes. So you don't need to make use of this. All these other ones, the group activities, you can decide to look for somebody, a partner, or maybe some partners and discuss it. Then you can come up with what you have to do. So remember the template we have been using. You can just use that template, your name, your matric number, your department, and all of that, and then follow this process. All you have to simply do is list 5 active inbound rules, list 5 active outbound rules, and then record 5 active processes happening. And then you'll be able to discover this from what we did and what we showed you from the Windows Defender. So this is the thing, this is the in thing. So you will be doing the assignment, but you necessarily would not be submitting them. So in a football, a team without defenders concedes lots of goals. In cybersecurity, a computer without a firewall concedes attacks. So you need to prepare. Are you going to ensure that your defense is intact, or you will permit yourself to be open to attacks? Thank you very much. That's it for today's live lessons. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope this offered so much of value to you. Till I come your way again in our next live lesson, keep staying vigilant and keep making everything you do to be defended. Bye-bye.